Chris Drake's father takes care of the traditional field crops of cotton, peanuts, and soybeans on their farm. He's picked up the produce crops, and for the last 10 to 15 years has been raising watermelons, pumpkins, and some sweet corn. What started as an acre or two now accounts for 32 acres, and watermelons account for about half of his fresh produce crop.
Watermelons grow well on this sandy type soil that we have in this area. We have about 300 acres of watermelons in Southampton County, which is more than most people realize. We have about 7 or 8 growers that grow, and a broker locally in Cortland generally moves most of the watermelons. I'm a little different from most producers in the fact that I market the majority of my watermelons myself through contacts that I've developed over the last 10 to 15 years. But watermelons thrive in this hot, sandy environment, but unfortunately sometimes we don't have enough rainfall or too much rainfall like we had this year in June. So the production we have in this area is dry land production for the most part. There's no black plastic like in other parts of the country. So Mother Nature can make or break a produce crop, especially a watermelon crop.
Watermelons are a classic summer crop. Planting begins around the 1st of May and harvesting through most of August. Drake says the buyer preferences are changing.
We grow primarily seedless watermelons. The market now demands more seedless melons, the triploid watermelons, than the seeded watermelons, which are the diploid watermelons. But we still plant both. You have to have a seeded watermelon in the field to pollinate the seedless watermelons. So typically guys will plant 70% seedless or 75 to 25 to 30% seeded varieties. So, of course, people, like different things, but most of the commercial market now demands a 14 to 15 pound seedless watermelon like the ones you see behind me right here.
Drake says watermelons are popular with consumers. They're technically classified as both a fruit and a vegetable. A fruit because they are raised from seed, and vegetable because they are members of the same family as cucumbers, pumpkin, and squash.
Melons, like most vegetables, are high in vitamin C, and they're high in lycopene as well, and they, according to all research, have a lot of antioxidants, which of course is the big buzzword in this day and time. So they do have a lot of health benefits. Anything with vitamin C, and most fruits and vegetables are good for you and healthy, and they should be incorporated into your diet.
Thumping a watermelon on the side is supposed to tell a buyer whether the watermelon is ripe. But Drake says a better way may be to see if the stem is brown and that the color is right. He cuts his stems to keep the bacteria out of the finished melon.
Typically what we look for in a seedless watermelon, most of the varieties you see on the market now, when the stripes start to break up some, you see some white striation in the middle of the melon. They typically should be ripe. I've been cutting out of this field for about 2 weeks now, so I can pretty much rest assured that these watermelons will be ripe. So hopefully my guess is correct here once we cut this open. When we split this melon open, and we see we have a very good firm red flesh there. Should be extremely sweet. Nice looking melon. Yeah, this variety here is called Summer Flavor 800. This watermelon probably weighs about 36 pounds. And two reasons why the commercial market has moved more to seedless is because the seeded are so big that a lot of people don't have the refrigerator space for a watermelon this size. And plus, people just don't like to eat seeds a lot anymore. But me personally, I prefer the seeded watermelon. I think they're a little bit sweeter.
If you buy a watermelon from a farmer's market in the summer and early fall, you can be pretty sure it was harvested within 48 hours and was ripened on the vine. Freshness really improves the taste of watermelon, whether they're seeded or seedless. In Southampton County, Virginia, this is Dave Miller.